Hey, how's everyone doing? Long time no chat. It has been a minute, literally 4 months. Um, yeah, going in this cold turkey, just wanted to post something, finding an excuse to not do real work as usual. Yeah, my name's Emil. If you haven't seen me for a while, I'm just a dude on the internet. Don't really do much. Um, this is going to be a life update video, just updating you guys on our home situation. Long story short is we are back, baby. I am so glad to be back in our condo. It has been miserable not being here. Don't get me wrong, Airbnbs are nice, um, especially when they're newer, but nothing beats just being at home. Yeah, it's gonna be a fairly long video, so if you don't have time, just hit like and move on to the next one. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. But yeah, full video will be on YouTube if you want to have something in the background while you're cleaning, cooking, whatever you're doing. Otherwise, Instagram will probably have some little snippets here and there. So just gonna give you the whole rundown of this horrible situation that we were in. It was a nightmare. The theme of this year has been what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? What's gonna go wrong now? Um, so yeah, so early this year, or actually let's even go back further than that. Since we first bought this condo, we've always been having issues with plumbing, specifically the kitchen sink. Every time that our upstairs neighbors, any of those units would be either taking a shower, washing dishes, yada yada, anytime they were doing any of that, it would end up overflowing our sink. Um, we started to learn, or I started to learn the signs. It was like this weird little gurgle, 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 gurgle. And once I heard the gurgles, like, all right, well, the sink's gonna start flooding. Luckily, it was never super horrible. It'll flood up, it'll stay like that, and then by itself, it would kind of drain out. There were some instances where I had to call the HOA's plumber, their preferred guy, to come out here, snake it, and they kind of always just like point your finger at us and say, "You guys are doing it. Stop throwing shit down the kitchen sink." And I let them know, "Hey, we don't." But it is what it is. But fast forward 3, 4 years, the beginning of this year, 2025, around May, same old started happening. It's like I started hurting. I started hearing some gurgling noises. All right, cool. Made a quick sprint over to the kitchen. Wanted to make sure it's not overflowing because it has before, where it overflows and then the whole floor is full of water. And I wanted to prevent that, so I just immediately ran. And to my surprise, there was nothing there. It was completely clean. So I was like, crisis averted. We're good to go. Um, so I went back to the bedroom, just doing my own thing, me and Juju. All of a sudden, I hear little Emil in the in the living room, like having a blast. Like I'm like, oh shit, I wonder what kind of toys he's playing with right now. I don't remember him being crazy in love with any toy. I come over, he's fucking playing in a puddle of water. I'm like, fuck. So I immediately fucking scramble, running around, grabbing all the towels I can to put them all down, moving the couch, trying to, minimize any damage to our furniture. I call the plumber. I have him on speed dial since this happens very often. Guy comes in. There's this language barrier. I don't know what language he speaks. I want to say it's Armenian. He looks over. He cuts a hole in the wall just to see what it's looking like. If I can paint a picture, as soon as you come into our condo, to the right immediately is our kitchen. Keep going straight, and you'll have our living room. So the living room and our kitchen has a shared wall. It's like a single thin shared wall, and that's kind of where the plumbing is between the living room and the kitchen. All the way to the left is the restroom, and then all the way to the left is our bedroom. So it's a small place, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. It's our first home. But yeah, so he cuts a hole from the living room side on the shared wall for the kitchen, and he sees that, yeah, one of the pipes have bursted. I guess after years of abuse, they just finally said and me. So it unalived itself, and he said, "You know what? It's almost 10 p.m. I think it was like around 9 something. I'll come back tomorrow. This isn't an emergency." So I kind of stopped and say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, hold up, hold up, hold up. This is an emergency, like the second they start using the water again, like it's gonna flood." It's like, no, 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 no. This is just your unit. So just don't use the water and you'll be fine. And I started like arguing with him, bro, no, I need you to fix this right now. And after maybe 15 minutes of arguing, he just said, "I'll come back tomorrow with proper equipment." And he's about to take off. And I'm like, fuck. But luckily, as he was leaving, I heard the upstairs neighbor starting to take a shower. So I said, "Wait, wait, wait. What are you going to do about that, though?" And water just started leaking out of there like crazy. And he just goes, "Fuck!" And he starts like immediately doing a little bit of damage control. He starts cutting off the pipe, water going everywhere, sparks flying. It was pretty cool. Um, it was pretty cool to see. And eventually, he just replaced one of the pipes with another one, called it a day, and said, "All right, you're good to go." And now I got stuck with a hole in the wall, bunch of water everywhere. I think this was on a Friday, so I'm like, well, this is going to be a headache. And we ended up calling a, what do they call that? A water restoration company. I tried doing it as soon as possible. I tried calling like 4 or 5 different ones. Every single one's like, "Oh, okay, we can send someone in 4 days, 3 days, 6 days." I'm like, dang, that's a long time, man. I don't want to have this mess here. So one of them told me, "Hey, we can go by tomorrow." I was like, "Okay, cool, come by." Second he comes by, like, "Oh yeah, we gotta start ASAP." So they laid down fans to dry up the water. They're like, "Well, we just want to dry up the water. We want to prevent any mold." Um, but I can tell you right now, by the looks of it, you're gonna have to replace the drywall on the inside your condo. Um, if I can paint another picture, the water leakage got so bad that it went out from our condo into the hallway. We are a corner unit, thankfully, because if we had another unit to the left of us, I'm pretty sure I would have been in charge or I would have got the bill to fix their side, and that would have sucked. But yeah, it was just a hallway, so no other units got damaged. It was just mine. And at that point, I was like, well, time to start an insurance claim. So I started doing all the documentation, sending out emails. I was really surprised actually. So we have Lemonade, and Lemonade is one of those, at least I thought it was one of those cheap ones. We weren't paying very much. I saw them online. I was like, I just need some sort of insurance. So I thought it was going to be slow. They were going to suck, but no, they were hella quick. They got me all my information. They got my claim started real quick. I had a personal advisor, and I was off to the races. I was ready to get the repair done. Um, the water restoration company came down like, "All right, well, we're a all-in-one solution." And I was like, what does that mean? It's like they do A through Z. They do the water restoration, the reconstruction, the moving. I don't have to go to all these different, um, not companies, what do they call them? Contractors. And I was like, cool, that works for me because I hate having to navigate or having to communicate between different parties. So that worked out for me. So I signed all the contracts, got everything ready to go, and they were like, okay, so we're gonna take probably about 2 months to do all the tear down. So they were gonna end up replacing all my flooring, half the drywall in the living room and kitchen. They were going to have to remove all my cabinets because the cabinets got damaged. Um, and yeah, so flooring, cabinets, drywall, painting, pretty much the entire condo. Um, Even though it didn't get to the bedroom or the hallway or the bathroom because it's the same flooring everywhere, they had to match it. They can't just give it like partial, so they had to do the entire thing. Which I was going to complain about because when I first bought this place, me and my brother-in-laws did the flooring and I never finished it. So there's always been these two pieces in our home that were just bare and I hated looking at it. So again, I'll blessing in disguise. Um, so I was excited. I was like, yeah, let's do this. 2 months, get new stuff, sure. Um, and this is where it kind of started going downhill. At first, they were telling us, all right, well, we got to wait for your insurance to get all the paperwork to us so that we can start doing an estimate for the repair. It's like, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Um, my insurance was quick. I think the next day they came out. This was already 4 days from the initial um, water leak incident. My insurance comes out. They do the inspection. They do a calculation of what they think it's going to cost to repair. They submit it over to me, and I give it to the water restoration guys. And I kind of got no answer from them back from there. Fast forward like 2 weeks, I can keep calling my project manager for the team, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll get started soon." I was like, "Okay." Fast forward another few days, and now it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks. They say, "Okay, when can we start?" And it's like, "Bro, I'm waiting on you guys. What do you mean when can I start? Or when can you start?" I got you guys the insurance claim. I got all the insurance information. What do you need from me? It's like, well, we should start soon. It's like, okay, thank you. Let's start soon. I started getting really frustrated. This was starting to get close to June. This was the last week of May. And now all of a sudden I say, okay, we really need to start. I'm like, yes, I've been saying this. We need to start. What do you need? It's like, well, we need to get you out of the house. It's like, all right, so let me talk to my insurance. Let me see if they can get me an Airbnb. Luckily, they can. And at first, I was just gonna go through my insurance. They have their own people that can find me an Airbnb, but the company was saying, oh, well, we have a partner that can find you a temporary living place. That way, you don't have to deal through insurance because sometimes all these things can happen. I was, you know what, sure, let's go through your people. So their people were like, all right, well, we need to find you an Airbnb. We're not going to put you in a long stay hotel, which is what my insurance was going to do. Just put me in a hotel. And they told me, well, we're having trouble finding a one bedroom, one bathroom Airbnb because it has to be like a like for like, or at least that's what my insurance policy told us. So they were having some trouble. So they ended up putting us in a hotel for a week. The hotel was nice, so I didn't mind. It was the process of moving out that really bothered me. So when was it? It was 2 days before we had to move out. Some workers came by. It's like, all right, we're here to start the tear down. And I'm like, what do you mean you're here to start the tear down? And it's like, yeah, um, we're still living here, sir. And it's like, oh, they told me that you would be gone by now. I was like, no. Okay. So then I called the project manager. Like, hey, your guys came over to start the teardown. I'm not ready. We never spoke about a timeline, and I've been asking for a timeline. I was like, oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. I was like, by the way, did you guys told me you guys gonna move and pack everything? I was like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'll send someone over. The next day, someone comes over to like pack all my stuff. They come in, they look at the place, like, oh, nothing's in boxes. Like, no, y'all told me you guys were A through Z, that you guys were gonna pack everything for me. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll come back tomorrow. And I was like, what the fuck you mean you're gonna come over tomorrow? That's stupid. And they're like, yeah, yeah, we didn't come with anything to, wrap and box. I thought we were just moving stuff. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Um, so at this point, I'm very concerned. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna rent my own little storage, and I'm gonna put like the big things that I don't want them touching. So I moved some of the stuff on myself. And then 3 days later, they come back with all the stuff. They're like packing everything, getting all everything ready. I was like, okay, cool. This is moving pretty quick. By this time, we were already at the hotel because we had to move out. They were taking forever, but we had to move out since the hotel was already there for us. We go while we're staying at the hotel. I come back and they're again taking their sweet ass time. Finally, all our stuff is out, and I'm like, cool. Now they can start the tear down. 4 days pass, nothing, and I'm like, trying to contact my project manager. Hey, what's going on? Can I get an update? No response. So I'm like, well, my insurance needs a timeline so that I can provide your guys's third party with a timeline for how long I need the Airbnb. So finally, the PM replies to me via text message like, "Oh yeah, just tell him 3 months." And I'm like, "Sir, can you write me an email?" And I swear to you, this motherfucker sends me the most unprofessional email ever. It's a simple email that just says 2 3 months. Sir, sir, what the fuck are you doing as a project manager? And oh, I really got really mad when I saw that. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. I just need to give something to insurance and this temporary living situation people. So I got them the paperwork. They put us into a small little Airbnb in Woodland Hills. And it was pretty far from where we are, but I was like, you know what? Whatever. Once we were there, again, go silent. It's already like halfway through June by this point. And I'm constantly coming in checking the condo just to see what progress is going. I get here and finally the flooring's gone. It's like cool. They're gonna start doing something. The flooring's gone. They tore down some of the drywall, so it's looking like they're doing something. Fast forward another week, nothing. Fast forward another one. Cabinets are finally gone. Cool. Things are going well. Nice. And then nothing for a whole month. So it's already July, and no reconstruction has happened yet. At this point, I'm just like super fed up. I went over to this company's directory because I don't know who's who, you know. I went over to this company's directory, got everybody's email, CC'd my PM, or I emailed my PM and just CC'd everybody in the company. It was only like 7 people, but CC'd everybody. Super long, angry email saying, "Hey, why is there no communication? Why is nothing fucking happening?" And literally within 20 minutes, someone calls me saying, "Hey, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Let me contact your PM and we will make sure that things move forward." Because, there's only a month and a half left until I have to move back. And finally, they call me back. Well, actually, not finally. And then they call me back like not even 2 minutes later, and he says, "I don't know what's going on with your PM, but he won't answer my phone calls or text message, so we're gonna assign you a new PM." And I was like, "Thank you." I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this person, man. Like, would not answer anybody's phone calls. It's one thing not answering my phone calls, but not even answering your boss's phone calls. You're, that was stupid. Anyhow, they're like, "All right, we're gonna get a PM. We're gonna start with the repairs." Like, no, 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 no. I need a meeting. I need the new PM. I need you. I need all these people come down. We need to sit down. I need to make sure you guys know what's going on. So we sit down. We're having a meeting right here in the condo, and I'm just like, "Hey, all right. So you guys told me new flooring, new everything. You guys are asking me to pick all the stuff. I already picked it, so I'm worried that you guys are confused." So we went over everything that's gonna get done: flooring, drywall, cabinets, and at this point, like, all right, guys, well, I want some extra work done. I don't know what discount you guys can give me, but I need because we have popcorn ceiling. I hate the popcorn ceiling. I want the popcorn ceiling removed. I want a new bathroom vanity. I want dual sinks. I want one of those, those hotel mirrors where they have like LED lights around it. I want one of those. Um, and I want extra cabinet space at the kitchen. And all in all, they were like, all right, well, it's all the extra work for the extra cabinets that weren't already in your unit. Insurance doesn't cover that, so that'll be X amount plus the new vanity in the hallway, plus the new LED mirror, plus all the what do they call that? The popcorn ceiling. Oh, and I wanted LED lights on or what do they call that? Floodlights on the top of the ceiling, because right now our condo was pretty much just lamps, and I did not like that. So they were going to add floodlights all around. They were going to do 6 in the living room, another 6 in the kitchen slash hallway, another two in the vanity hallway, another two in the bathroom, and another four in the bedroom. So it's going to be a lot, plus the one in the closet. All the electrical work, all the extra stuff. I think they were going to charge me 11, or no, sorry, not 11. They were going to do 10,000. And I'm like, bro, you guys are already like taking like 28 from my insurance company. You're going to want another 10. I told him, you know what? Take off the popcorn scene for my quote. I can do that myself. Just tell me when you guys aren't doing anything, and I'll come in here and do it myself. Like I don't care. It's work that I can do. And they're like, okay, okay. I left it alone for a bit, just trying to see what work they do. Not shitting you guys. Another 2 weeks passes. I come by every other day to just check on it. No work is being done. And I'm like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Finally, we're like month 3, and now they feel the pressure. Oh shit. So I ask them, hey, like, are you guys gonna finish in time? What the fuck is going on? And like, I don't think we're gonna finish in time. And I was like, these motherfuckers. Well, fuck it. Take off. I just want to be back. Take off all the extra stuff that I want. I guess I won't do the lights. I won't do the van. Just do the bare minimum. And they saw money starting like, oh, we're not gonna get extra money. So they're like, no, 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 let me give you a discount. Let me do all this. I was like, you know what? Fine. What's the lowest you can do? So then they said, like, all right, we can go down from 10 to 8. And I was like, all right, if you can do it for 8, sure. Let's do it. So 8,000 for all the supplemental work. And they started moving pretty quick. They patched up all the walls, so drywall was done. They were about to start doing the flooring, or they started all the electrical first. So electrical got done first, all the lightings, um, and then they started doing patching up the drywall. And I think we ended up extend. I don't know if I said that. We ended up extending a whole month. That way they had a little bit of extra time. So we stayed at our Airbnb one extra month. But anyways, we were like at the last 3 week mark, and they were going to install the flooring. And this was on a Saturday. I'm not gonna forget it. I was playing Magic. I was playing Magic with some friends. I get a phone call, and I was drunk. Okay, so I got really mad. Um, got a call like, "Hey, our guys went in there to put in the floorings today, and they said they can't do it." And I'm like, "What the fuck? What do you mean they can't do it?" And they're like, "Yeah, the guys went in there, and they said there was water everywhere." And I'm like, "Motherfucker!" Ah, well, tell them stop the project. Obviously, I don't want them to. I don't want the new floor to get damaged and all this stuff. So, I call the HOA's plumber again. He comes in. Is like, oh, okay. He snakes it from the kitchen side. No cabinets, no nothing. The whole condo's empty, so he just snakes from the drain from the kitchen side. And he says, okay, all fixed. And it's like, I'm just staring at him like with this blank face, because no, it's not fixed. You just put a little band-aid on it. I told him if my guys continue working, it's gonna get water again, and all of my new flooring, my new cabinets, it's gonna get all fucked up. And then, oh, okay, I gotcha. This motherfucker slaps a rubber stopper on the on what are they fucking on the pipe, and he says, okay, now they can keep working. I was furious, and I just told him, just leave, just leave. I ended up calling my own plumber. I said, fuck this shit. I don't care how much it costs me. I just need this fixed. Um, this other plumber, phenomenal. First thing they do when they come in is like, all right, what's going on? Like, fill them in. Cool. What did the other plumber do to diagnose it? I told him absolutely nothing. He has done squat, shiza, shit, nada. And they, all right, well, we have to start there. We have to at least know what the issue is before we can do any repairs. It's like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. You gotta know what's wrong before you can fix it. So he's like, all right, we got to do a colonoscopy for your pipe. So they're going to put a little camera down the pipes to see where the clog is or what's going on. So like, okay, that makes sense. How much is it gonna cost me? Well, probably like 800 bucks. I was like, gosh, motherfucking shit. Um, well, actually, no, lies. He said it was like 200. I said, all right, cool. He tries putting the camera through the kitchen side. I was like, oh, wow, too many turns. I can't put it through here. So he goes over to the living room side. There's like a little like clean out trap. So he sees that. He's like, hey, can I open that? It's like, yeah, go for it. I said, that looks a little rusty, so I don't know if I can do it, but I should be able to put the camera through there. They're like, did the other plumber not snake it through there? Or is like, no, he didn't even try. It is like, oh, that's interesting. If he was a real plumber, he should have known that that's the place to snake it, because the other one had so many turns. Like you're not really gonna get much. And I'm over here like this motherfucking bitch ass, stupid ass fucker didn't know what he was doing. So he goes over. Luckily, he was able to open the trap. The second he opens it, he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna be able to put the camera through here." I'm like, "Why?" He shows me the lid. It is like the most greasy, gunky, nasty shit I've ever seen, and I'm like, oh, like yeah, like my camera's not gonna fit. So honestly, we only have one option. We're gonna have to hydrojet this, clean it out a little bit, and then I can put in the camera. I was like, okay, well, how much is that gonna cost me? Then that's when I get the $800 quote, and I was like, okay, whatever, just do what you need to do. So they end up hydrojetting it. That's when they get those like pressure washers. They pretty much put a pressure washer down the pipe and just like push it out. They said they were gonna start with the low PSI since they don't know what's down there. So they clean it out a little bit, put the camera through, and yeah, that shit was disgusting. Um, they put the camera all the way out, all the way in, and they're just saying, yeah, it's the issue's fixed, but it's gonna come back. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, like gonna persist. They showed me the pipes, they're all corroded and cracked, and I was like, yeah, you see all this? Eventually, the grease is gonna build up again. Things are gonna get caught, and they're just gonna get flooded again. And I'm like, fuck. Well, what do you recommend? It's like, well, two things. One, we can do like this little sealant thing, and they can like, I don't know, they explained it like a balloon that goes in there, then it expands, and then it just coats it. And I was like, okay, that sounds like not very intrusive. And the other one's like, well, since you already have the flooring out and you're already at the base of the concrete, we can just, you know, what do they call that? Jackhammer the floor and replace all the piping. And I was like, that sounds expensive. What are we looking at? It's like, for the coating, you're looking about 5,800. And I'm like, motherfucking shit. I was like, well, let me talk to HOA because I don't know if I need permission from them or anything to do this. And I go over to HOA. I was like, I was very careful with my words. I'm like, hey, yo, your plumber didn't do shit. I didn't say that, but um, I told them, hey, this is what's going on. This is what got diagnosed. This is what I already paid. What do you guys want to do? I just, I thought they were just gonna tell me, well, go ahead and do it. You have our permission. But no, I got lucky. They said, well, sounds like it's shared plumbing. Your plumber says that too. I can reimburse you for the 800 that you already paid. But that quote sounds really high. Let me send another plumber that he knows. So he sends over another plumber, not the fucking Armesian guy. I don't even know if he's Armesian. Um, Let me send this other plumber. So he sends over, and they're pretty competent too. They say they do the pretty much the exact thing my plumber did. Put a camera down, came up with the same diagnosis, except they're like, hey, I don't recommend coating it. Coating, once you coat it, you won't be able to snake it. So I just recommend jackhammering everything. I said, sure, go for it. So they end up just replacing pretty much all the piping. So that was a relief. Again, blessing in disguise, because if this would have happened after we put in all the new stuff, that would have fucking sucked. So I guess it was okay that it took forever to rebuild my condo. So yeah, once they set the new pipes, everything looked good, and the construction guys were able to move real quick. Flooring in and out, super easy. Cabinets took a little bit because there's only one guy. His other team members were busy doing another site, which I guess is why they were taking so long on my condo. Is they had different projects and there's only a few of them. And see, I don't mind if you guys have other shit to do, but communicate with me, motherfuckers. Just tell me, hey, FYI, we're not going to be touching your condo for like 2 months. We're still going to get it done in whatever time, but we're not going to be touching it because we have these other projects. If you guys would have just told me that, I would have been fine with it. I understand. I work on big projects too. I work with multiple projects, but communication is key, fuckers. And afterwards, they got the cabinets in, things moving great. One of well, not one of, the second biggest complaint besides communication with me that I had was communication with each other. So when I had my first project manager, I sat down, I told him everything I wanted. I even took the time to kind of make my own drawings for how I wanted things to look. Um, and I guess no one ever shared that with anybody. So the current my current PM was like, "Hey, the cabinet guy's there. He's gonna start doing shit." I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hold up. We haven't even talked about how things are gonna look." And it's like, "Oh, it's like yeah, no, 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 no." So I show up and again he's already like halfway done with the cabinet. It's like, yo, no one fucking talked to me and told him, hey, like this is what I need, this is what I requested, and fuck man, like literally nothing that I asked them was how I wanted was like going the way I wanted it. I was like, oh okay, okay. And then it turned out that they ordered the wrong side cabinet for one of the extra ones. So it was gonna push out all my cabinets closer to the door of the entryway, and I was like, I didn't want it that close to the entryway. And I was like, well, that's too bad. I already opened the cabinets. So like motherfuckers, like again, like this is why communication with me and each other would have been fucking great. I like reviewing shit, so I could review your equipment list, and I was like, hey, what the fuck is this? Like, why is it this size? I digress. So, ov the solution was, you know what, just go for it, whatever. It's already here. Just do what you need to do. The marble guy comes over and he's taking care of the marble. Oh, we got marble now. I guess they don't do ply because I had plywood before for my countertops, which is vinyl top. They don't do that anymore. So I got upgraded to marble. So that was nice. And yeah, the sorry, I just have so much bad experience with this. We moved on to the uh the hallway where they're gonna do the brand new vanity, dual sinks, all this cool stuff. I asked them, "Hey, what else do you guys need, or what needs to be done?" It's like, "Oh, well, we're pretty much done, and now we just need to put up the mirror." It's like, "Okay, well, who's gonna put up the mirror? Because I purchased the mirror for you guys, and now you guys are gonna like, oh, well, the electrician's gonna do it." I was like, oh, "Okay," because I get it. It has LEDs, so you know they gotta wire it. They call the electrician. The electrician. The electrician comes over like, "Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna install it. You guys install it. It's not my job. My job is just to handle electricity. I already left the port there open. I ran a new line, so a new conduit. So you guys are good to go." And then the other guy was like, "No, no, I don't deal with electricity." And they're just talking back and forth. I'm like, motherfucker, guys, there's only 2 weeks left before I have to leave my Airbnb. Please, please, just do it. Um, and what's that shit? Oh, anyways, they said, you know what? Whatever. Uh, he'll just do it. The carpenter. So I said, all right, whatever. Uh, they'll do it at a different date. Fast forward a week. It's the week we got to move back in, and I'm like, fuckers, are you guys gonna finish in time? Because I also provided them a new stove and a new air vent. Because might as well since we're already here. It's like, hey guys, like I'm really worried you guys are not gonna finish in time. We're like, no, 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 we will, we will, we will. So I think the week before we need to move in, so much shit's going wrong. I'm there with them. They already um they pretty much finished everything the week before. They're like, all right, all the floor is done, everything's installed, but they have this like parchment paper on the floor, to like protect the floor while they're moving everything, especially like the fridge and the stove, the dishwasher, all the big appliances. And I'm there to like just like supervise, make sure everything's going well. And I guess they're like, all right, well, we really got to finish this because yeah, it's the week before. So they do like a two-step thing. They're gonna finish putting in the new air vent or the for the top of the stove, and they're gonna put in my mirror. Like those are the last two things that would need to be done the week before. Everything else was set. And I go in there, all the packers are moving in the stuff back because they just wanted to, wipe their hands and be over with this project. Guys, it was so fucking unprofessional. All the people that were like moving the boxes in, kind of just like moving things everywhere. I'm like, okay, guys, like you guys aren't being very careful with my shit, but whatever. All my important stuff, like my monitors, my equipment, all that, I moved myself because I'm glad I did because you guys are being so stupid with my shit. And anyways, they were quick. I'll give them that. They move all my stuff back in. They were pretty much done in like 4 or 5 hours. And I don't even know if it was a carpenter, but the guy who was supposed to install the vent and the mirror, like, all right, cool, time to do it. And everyone was kind of just standing there. And then they were like, hey, can we leave? We have other stuff to do. And I was like, I mean, sure, you guys are done with all this. So yeah, if I need anything, I'll talk to you guys. They also got done real quick because I told them, you know what, just leave most of the shit in boxes because we need to go through and just dump things anyways. We survived without most of our things for 4 months. I'm sure that we can get rid of a lot of stuff. So most of the stuff got left in boxes anyways. And the guy came back. He's like, all right, time to put up the air vent. He's like, hey, where'd everybody go? I was like, oh, they said they had other stuff to do. It's like, these motherfuckers, the boss guy told me that they were gonna help me lift the stuff. So guys, I ended up this guy helping this guy lift up the air vent and like drilling it to the countertop. And I swear to you, I don't know where the fuck they pulled this guy from. They probably got a fucking drove up to the Home Depot and just picked the first guy there. Um, he used the longest nails ever and drilled over, and he was like not being able to like catch it and like, hey, dude, let's put this down. I don't think you measured it correctly. Like, no, it's fine, it's fine. You're like, all right, whatever, man. You're the professional. I'm just a hobbyist, I just do this for a hobby, so whatever. And oh my gosh, man, I was so fucking pissed off. Um, the guy put the vent up. He screwed it up because the hole he put on the top was nowhere aligned where the new vent was. He put it in the center because I guess most vents are centered. This one was like closer to the back. So he had to drill more holes into my new cabinets. And the original vent that it had was like this metal one. It wasn't those like malleable ones. And he was like, no, I have to use this one. I have to use this one. Like, hey, why can't you just use a malleable one? Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, okay, whatever. He got so frustrated and like all this yada yada stuff happened. And he's, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do it the way you told me to do it. And finally, it went in that way. And I'm just like, motherfucking shit. I was watching him drill. I'm like, hey, don't forget to put all four screws, okay? Because I only saw him put two. I was like, I don't feel comfortable you just leaving two. And I was like, okay, yes, sir. We get to the cabinet. And like, well, I can't install this. I was like, what do you mean you can't install this? It has electrical cord, DC directly. And like, no, you guys talked about this already. You were gonna do it. Like, no, I don't deal with electrical work. And I'm like over here like, motherfucker. So he calls the electrical guy. They have the same argument again. So it's like the second or third time they're having this argument. So the guy just told him, okay, fine, leave. So the electrician leaves the exposed wires. He calls his own friend to come help him out. And I'm just over here like, oh, this sounds really sketchy. And they take out my new vanity mirror with the LEDs, and I'm just like over here like, hey, aren't you guys gonna remove the doors? I'm reading the instructions. The instructions say remove the doors. Like, no, this will be easier. Like, all right, guys. So they hang it onto the wall, and once it got put there, I noticed it was wobbling, and they're like, guys, like this is wobbling. No, that's how it is. That's how the Mac. Like, no, it's wobbling, and the cabinets are like sideways, like they're not flushed. Like, oh no, that's how it is. They're like, bro, fix it. Like, no, that's how it is. Like, so yeah, I called over the project manager, And it's like, all right, well, we are pretty far, so we'll be there maybe 3, 4 hours. And while this is happening, the other carpenter, or whatever they're called, started cleaning up, removing all the things on the floors, that was there to quote unquote protect the floor. And they kind of just cleaned up whatever they need to clean up, and they kind of just left. Um, so while that's happening, I'm just like, all right, well, we're waiting. Let me take inventory of all the shit that I need fixed. And it was a laundry list, guys. So of course it was the vanity mirror that needed to be fixed, 100%. It was oh my gosh. Let me tell you, once they removed the protector of the floor, I don't know who the fuck did this. Um, there was a deep scratch on the brand new flooring. It looked like it was coming from the dishwasher. Someone was moving it, and I don't know how they did it, but they ended up doing a super deep scratch all over the brand new flooring. So they needed to fix that. I was checking some of my furniture. A lot of the legs on my furniture were broken. So I was like, okay, well, this needs to be fixed. So it was furniture need to be fixed. I also learned that they kind of cut into my coaxial for my internet, so that wasn't working. So I had no internet, and it was such a laundry list, guys. But the main three things that I needed fixing were my furniture. All the legs on my furniture were not working or were damaged. That new vanity medicine cabinet needed to be fixed because it looked like it was gonna fall, and the flooring, because that's brand new fucking flooring. And yeah, he comes over, the project manager, hella embarrassed because, it reflects poorly on him. But yeah, he comes over with this other guy. They take a look at the medicine cabinet. Like, oh yeah, this was installed incorrectly. So they take it out, follow the instructions, and it sit perfectly flush, guys. Like it was night and day difference. Like I don't know what the other guy was thinking. And then he saw the flooring. He's all right. We're gonna send you another guy on a different day to fix the flooring. It's like, all right, good. At least that gets fixed. Um, they hire someone to come over and fix my furniture, mainly my desk, my eating table, and all that stuff. And while they were here, like, you know what? Just out of curiosity, can you check the vent that they installed? Like, if he installed a medicine cabinet incorrectly, I don't know how he installed the vent. He comes over, puts one finger on it, the whole vent kind of goes do 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 do. And I was like, oh my gosh. He didn't even put four screws. He goes up, it's like, oh, this guy used two long screws and it went all the way through the cabinet. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like everything's going wrong. So I'm like, okay, whatever. They're gonna fix it. So they end up fixing it, making it right. Everything's good to go. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I am exhausted mentally, physically, everything. And everything looks good. Finally, everything's fixed. Flooring was replaced. This was like the week of. So we met the deadline. We were out of the Airbnb. We were back in. And we thought everything was finey dandy. And I think 3 days after we moved back in, oh, the bathroom tub filled up. It backed up. We woke up one morning, we went over there, we were gonna go to sleep, and it was all gone. We woke up one ooh, we woke up one morning, we were gonna take a shower, or we're gonna take a shower, and we saw that the bathtub was completely filled with like dirty, disgusting brown water. We're like, oh no. More things can go wrong. And we started singing a little song, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna go wrong next? Um, so yeah, we called the plumber, the same one that worked on the main line, because I thought they replaced everything. But it was only the bathtub having an issue. Everything else was perfectly fine. So the plumber guy comes over. He does the overflow trap. Yeah. But yeah, he does the What was I saying? Oh yeah, he does the overflow trap. He opens the overflow trap and he starts snaking in there. I'm over in the living room because we moved back in, and all I hear him say is "fuck." I was like, "Oh no, what's going on?" He comes out and he's like, "Hey, it got from severe to really bad. Like, hey, we were able to clear the clog, so that's good. But whoever installed your bathtub originally, so this is way before we bought it, because when we bought it, that tub was already there. I guess they didn't seal the tubing for the overflow. So when they were rattling in there with the snake, it fell off and fell into the wall. So they told me they had to make a hole in the bathroom to retrieve it. There? So yeah, they told me they had to make a hole in the wall to retrieve the pipe that fell. Uh, but they would have to do it from the hallway because there's no room inside the bathroom. Again, the hallway shared, so I told them, well, you got to contact HOA, and they're the HOA's plumber, so that was an easy thing to do. And the HOA is like, you know what? Yeah, you have permission. You have permission. Do what you need to do. And the plumbers were like, well, wait, I think we can like work around it because there was already like a service hole on the hallway, and they were reaching their hand and they were like over there, one's in the inside, one outside, screaming at each other like to your left, to your right, now up, no wait, left. It was pretty funny. And but they were able to do it. They replaced it with the brand new um piping. They sealed it. Everything was good. And I was like, all right, bro, how much do I owe you? And they're like, oh, you're gonna pay us? I was like, well, you guys gotta get paid, right? It's like, oh no, no, no. Let me talk to my manager. Let me see if I can make HOA pay this because I had to go like 30 feet into the drain to clear out the clog. Like that's shared plumbing. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, I love you guys. So everything worked out. They were able to charge HOA. HOA paid for everything, and everything ended up being replaced. Every tube in my condo got replaced. So I guess that's a relief. This shouldn't be happening anymore. Um, I ended up, knew everything, so that's good. But was it worth this horrible headache? I don't know. Oh, I'm stressed just reliving that. But yeah, thank you for watching to the very end. I know this was a super long video, and hopefully I didn't trigger your anxiety with everything that just happened to us. And yeah, can't wait to see what other shit happens. It's the beauty of home ownership. Ah, but yeah, wonder what's next. Bye. Oh my god, man. Ah, life is a motherfucking bitch. Bye, guys.